Okay, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing lovely this, what is it, Friday? I don't even know. It feels like every day is exactly the same day. So, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are and whatever day it is. I'm really excited because, first of all, it's been a while since I've done a live, and I always love doing lives and chatting with you, but also, I have a very special guest that I will be bringing on today, which many of you know. That's why you're here. It's because I'm going to be chatting with Kiesza. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of new stuff. We just released a song together. Oh my goodness, I see friends here. I see my cousin Jean. Hi, Jean. I see Jessica. So thanks for all of you for joining. Friends, family, and my fans. So you guys, I released a song with Kiesza. We did it together. We released it just yesterday, and the video came out last night. And so anyways, I'm excited to talk about it. I'm going to see if I can add her right now. I feel like this is such a temperamental thing, but oh, we got this. Bringing her on right now. Come on, connection.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm out in Pennsylvania right now, in the countryside. It's
oh my
beautiful.
gosh, how nice. What brings you there?
My boyfriend is out here and just out here like escaping the pandemic with like, we're in the beautiful countryside. It's like rolling hills.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's the best place to be. Yeah, you have to give us a view. Also, is your boyfriend the guy that you post on your story a lot with, and you guys
he's a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL, but now he works in like conservation. He's so cool. He like basically takes like amputees out skiing and snorkeling. He'll like strap them to himself and like ski for them, snorkel for them. Like he started his own swimmer company and like funnels all the like a lot of the income to conservation and rebuilding the coral reef and saving sea turtles and like sharks. He's like such a cool guy.
Is he a superhero as well?
Yeah, he looks like Captain America. He never puts a shirt on. Look, there he is. Literally.
You know, it's funny, when I was gonna start to describe him, I was gonna say the guy that's never wearing a shirt on your Instagram.
Wait, I have to just bring him up for 1 second. You know, he's talking to this really incredible recon guy on the phone right now too, Rudy Red. Wait, I just got up. Everybody wants to meet the guy who never wears a shirt.
Yeah, I want to meet the guy that never wears a shirt. There he is.
Wait, hold on, Rudy. I'm putting Jeff on my live stream. Oh, they have to meet Rudy too.
Here's the legend, Rudy Reyes.
Rudy is a legend.
Scout sniper, recon marine, and now he's the main character for Call of Duty.
Yeah. Right, we have crazy. His friends are insane. They're like amazing, but they've like.
Your friends are insane. That's awesome.
Anyways.
Well, also, I just have to say, every time I see you pop on my screen, whether it's like in person or on Instagram, I'm always like, her hair is so just amazing, and it's so like, you have like happy hair.
That makes me happy. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I literally don't do anything. Like everyone's like, how do you do that to your hair? And I'm like, I wish I had something for you, but I roll out of bed and take a shower. Like that's
so funny. I bet you spent a while, like years, probably trying to control it, and then finally just realized, like, I'm gonna let it do its thing.
I used to straighten it all the time, and I fried it.
Yeah.
I didn't even like my red hair at first. I would dye it blonde and I dye it brown, and then one day my mom's cousin was doing my hair and like she was like, you have red hair, like what are you doing?
Seriously?
And I was like, yeah, so she made me go back to my original color, and then
that's the natural color.
Yeah, I enhanced it a bit. I put like neon like Pokemon orange in it, but it's kind of faded, and then I put all these yellow streaks for like in honor of Bowie, but they all faded too, and I can't get them updated during the pandemic, so.
I know. Well, isn't it funny? It's just crazy that you like used to straighten your hair and used to color it, and then you just finally embraced it. And that's probably when people know you now for not only your amazing voice, but also like your really cool look that you've just kind of embraced. That's always been you. And so it's just like a really interesting metaphor about how sometimes I think the things that make us the most us, we almost like try to suppress and hide. And then when you let it shine, that turns into like your greatest gift.
It's so true. And I used to even like tie my hair up in this like mohawk all the time, and it was cool and it was very branded. But
yes,
for me, it was like the same thing every day, and my scalp was getting rashes and stuff. And I actually got a lot of backlash from the back end of my team when I was like, I want to stop doing my hair like that, because they're all like, no, that's your brand, you can't change it. And I was like, but my natural hair is like a freaking afro. Like,
yeah, that
not
could be
many
a brand.
people have. Yeah, I was like, not many people have my natural hair, anyways. Like, so
yes.
And then I just let it down, and like it's been a game changer for me because I don't have to like spend so much time trying to like tame it. Like taming my hair into that mohawk was insane. It was so hard to do.
I bet. I bet that was a cool look too, though. I do remember the mohawk.
Thank you.
For sure.
I love hair. I love hair. If you ever want me to do your hair, I have so many styles that I love to make. Like,
oh my gosh, yes. Well, okay, so this brings me to my next point. So for those who don't know, next year, 2021, when touring, fingers crossed, is a thing. Kiesza and I are going to be going on the road together, and we're going to be doing a tour.
Yep.
Woo! It was supposed
I know, and now
to
we
be
have
happening.
a song to sing. Like, now we actually have a song we can perform together, which is so exciting.
I know. Well, it's funny when this whole thing came up, and I wrote this song for Azur Lane, and we were thinking who should sing it. Like, you were the only person that I even presented. I was like, I want Kiesza to sing this.
Oh, that means a lot.
Not only because the tour, but also I felt like it fit your style. You have that really cool, like modern, almost like dance 80s fusion thing. And I was like, she would kill. So anyways, you were the only person that even, I wanted to sing it. So I was so excited.
Well, I actually have some stuff I wanted to send to you too at some point. I've been writing. Oh, wait, 1 second.
I think I lost her for a second. I don't know if it's my end. Oh, that's okay.
No.
That's okay.
No, my boyfriend was sending me a text and then didn't realize.
Oh,
wait. Is it
Yo,
okay though?
Jeff, we're live streaming. It's Jeff, right?
Jeff. Yeah.
I went to airdrop to my computer and it automatically sent to her, and she's like,
You're literally known as the shirtless guy.
to me, that's how I
to Lindsey, who's like a legend. But wait, do you know did anyone hear the story about like you being there the day I wrote Hideaway?
So I wanted you to tell that story because that's so random, and I remember meeting you. But yeah, you should tell the story of how.
Yeah, well, they're
met.
like, because we were supposed to tour this year, of course, if it wasn't for the pandemic, and they're all, and like my team was like, oh hey, do you know Lindsey Stirling? I was like, yeah, she was like the person I met in my house the day I wrote Hideaway. And like, it's this whole story writing Hideaway because I was moving to LA. I was like, I'm done with New York. I bought a ticket 3 days later, moved to LA, and then and then I went back to get some stuff. And so then I was literally late for my flight, went to the studio, grabbed some of my stuff, and then was late for my flight. And then I heard this beat in the background, and the producer was working on this beat for Hideaway, and the whole song came into my head, and I was like, let me just put this down really quickly. I literally threw it down, wrote the fastest lyrics I could, and then ran to my plane, barely made my flight, landed in LA, got home, and you were in my apartment.
So wasn't I writing with your roommate?
With
or
Tiago.
Yes.
And then I received the song like later that evening. He had worked on it and sent it to me. I think I actually had it before I even like touched down, but I listened to it later and I was like, wow, this sounds really good. I think I'm gonna keep this for myself.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of my next album, like, you come up again. I'm like, is Lindsey like my good luck charm or something? Because like every time I begin a new project, she's like resurfacing at the beginning. So I was like, yes to this tour.
Peeking into your life. That's so funny.
I know.
So
and you know
crazy.
my friend William Joseph too, the piano player. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do. He's amazing.
We wrote a song together. Actually, I should send it to you because it's so cinematic. Maybe you could put some violin on it. It's beautiful.
Please do. Please send it to me.
Yeah. Epic.
So I actually want to hear a little bit more of your story, because I've heard just, I've heard bits and pieces of it, but from the time that I first met you in your apartment years ago to now, you've been through a lot. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing that right now, or if you want to go into
Yeah,
that.
no, I've been sharing my story a lot, so I'm totally comfortable.
Okay, because I would love to hear it from you.
It's like, which part of the story? I mean, I built up with my little indie team. Hideaway was built up actually independently and broke independently and charted independently, and then I signed to a label. So well before this car crash that I'll get into, I had built up independently and then signed, and then the label that signed me didn't actually know how to work the music that I made, and so they shelved me like almost immediately after, and they signed for another album but never would release any of the budget for it, and like kept me in limbo and wouldn't get behind any other records essentially. And so I had to start self-funding my own music when I was on a label that was taking taking it all. So I was like, basically, yeah, it was really crazy. And just doing it anyways, I was like, whatever, I'll just do it because I have to move forward. Then when I really got into my second album, I got started, and then I moved to Toronto to be closer to my family, and was just one day going out for dinner and was in an Uber and got a taxi, ran a red light, and just literally didn't even slow down, just plowed us off the road. And I came out of I think I actually did pass out, because I just remember a door opening and being totally in shock. And I found out progressively over like 5 days that things were not right. Like I couldn't balance properly. I couldn't think straight. I've had this pounding in my head, and it got worse for 6 months. And eventually, like, I was just bedridden, and my digestion collapsed. I couldn't digest any vegetables, hardly any food. So I was living off of like bone broth and boiled meat, because I literally couldn't digest anything else. And I was almost a vegetarian at the time. So literally, it was crazy. And then I couldn't have any herbs, no seasoning, nothing. No salt. Like my digestion, I thought I was gonna like die of not being able to eat. And then slowly rebuilt my gut back. A lot of my team members at that time abandoned me. They're just like, oh, she's done for. Like they just stopped being there, gave up. So I lost I just got literally the silver lining was I got out of essentially every contract I was in. And so I was free. I was just free to like make choices and then just focus on my healing, and then figure out the best way to come back when I was ready. And I thought I'd be ready in like 6 months, and it took 3 years. So, and I'm finally like stronger than I'm strong enough to tour again. And basically it's like the past 6 months is like 6 months ago, I didn't think I'd be touring. Well, maybe now, I mean, the pandemic, like literally when I booked your tour, I almost said no, because I didn't know if I could handle it. And I'd made like a dance upbeat album. And then I was like, no, I'm going to use this as a stepping stone. I'm going to do it. And I'll train for it, and I'll do whatever it takes. And it's perfect because it's an opening set. It's like 30 minutes. I'm going to use this as like a healing tool to get back to the stage. And so that was like a big milestone for me, your tour. And of course it got canceled, but it was a milestone. I was preparing. I was like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I see you dancing all the time, like your music videos. It's not like you're relying on other people to like do the the physicality for you. Like you're training, you're dancing, you're working with choreographer, who your choreographer is also your manager, right?
Yeah.
That's so
she
cool.
did Hideaway. Like she's just one of the most trustworthy people I know. And when it came to rebuilding my team, I wanted the most trustworthy person and one of the hardest working people I knew to be my manager. And I asked her, and she was up for the job. So she literally learned the whole industry in a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an amazing.
Like learning in your own way together. And I have so after all of this experience and everything that you went through, what were some of the biggest takeaways that you took from it? What were the silver linings, or the nuggets that changed your life for the better because of the hardship you went through?
Right. These are really good questions. Actually, so much changed. I remember, I had hustled and worked the industry so hard just to get a shot. And so maybe if somebody was maybe bad energy, but very successful and would open a door for me, I'd be like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll suck up to this person, whatever. Of course, nothing that diminished my values, but I was surrounded by a lot of people that I would say had bad energy and weren't not looking out for me as a person. And I don't think it was worth it. Like now when I build, like the people around me, I don't care how successful anybody is. If they're not a good person, if they don't have strong values, if they don't care about me or the people around me, I don't want them there.
Yeah.
And it's scary because people like, there's always these sayings like, don't burn bridges, don't burn bridges. But you know, I burnt so many bridges and I'm happy about it because my life is infinitely better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like a big party or anything. Like like I'm sitting out here in the country, like playing board games, you know, and like,
oh my gosh, we're gonna play so many board games on tour then because I love board games. What's your favorite board game?
I have a board game on the table right now. Like,
yay! Yeah, we'll play games on the bus.
I know it's gonna be amazing, but like I just, you know, I can't say enough about surrounding yourself with people that actually, you know, care about you, because the energy that those people will put into you and the support that they give is so much more powerful than like these big shots who literally most of them did nothing. Like they're a lot of the people who actually were in the way of my success and blocked me and felt like they owned me. And
yeah,
you know, so that's a big thing. And also like looking after yourself is a big lesson I learned. Yeah. Because I didn't want to take care of myself with the brain injury. I just wanted to come back. And I just kept falling down, getting knocked down. And the moment that I just was like, okay, I'm going to surrender to the fact that I have an injury. I'm going to surrender to the unknown. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm going to focus full time on myself and healing. And suddenly my healing sped up infinitely. And then I was back, you know, and the stress that I had from wanting to come back and from just denying what was the truth, actually held me back. And I actually skipped ahead and back, but yeah, I was in this car crash, and it was like, it was one of the craziest experiences of my life because I lost complete control of my body. And I'd get these sensations like my hands were burning, even though they weren't. Like I saw floating orbs of purple just floating around, like it was psychedelic. Like I thought
that's
it was
crazy. I heard you say something in an interview once where you were basically describing kind of what you just said, and I loved the way you said it. Let me try to capture your own words. But you said you had to accept that where you are today in that moment was not necessarily where you were yesterday. And so you had to look at it differently than where you were yesterday. You had to reset your expectations. And I think that like even right now, like emotionally speaking, like I think our world is facing like mental health is at an all-time high risk state. And where we are today emotionally or financially or physically does not always have to be where we were yesterday. And we have to sometimes reset and say, I need to be kind. I need to set new expectations and new rules and new boundaries for the person I am this week versus who I was last week.
And it can change every day. And that's what I really like to tell people who are going through hard times. Like you always get through the hard times. Like it always passes. So your only focus is getting through it. Yeah. And just being really present. And those are the times when you do have to be really present. But also, I mean, I even wrote in my new album that's coming out actually tomorrow.
Yes, I want to talk about that next.
Yeah, well, I wrote in the credits. For me, I mean, the present had become so terrible and so painful that I drew from the past and I drew hope from the future. And that's what actually got me through the present. So what I did say was, you know, when the present is really hard and you can't face it, it's okay to live in the past and to go into the future and actually live wherever it is that keeps you going.
I've never heard anyone say that. I love that.
Yeah, because not everyone's present is pleasant. And if you can look back into the past and good times and be like, wow, life has been great in the past and it can be great again in the future. I just have to get there, you know. Patience and endurance. So
well, you know, it's interesting you say that. I studied to be a therapist in school once upon a time.
Whoa,
I know, who knew?
Oh, so we can have therapy sessions.
No, I'm definitely not licensed. They're, you know, but it is interesting that I remember that was one of the strongest ways to gain competence for anyone is helping them see that they've done it before. They've had, you know, good times in the past, and therefore that gives you every reason to believe that good times are in your future. I love that. So I do now want to talk about your album comes out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy because I honestly thought I wouldn't make it to my second album. Like, there was a time when I thought my music career was done for, and I literally took up dog rehabilitation training. Like, I was like, I don't know what I can do now, but I want to be involved in healing. So I literally started training to rehabilitate dogs, and I didn't think I'd be back to music. And but
That's
here
crazy.
I am, second album, and when I okayed the final mix of this album, I didn't even see it coming. I couldn't even feel it coming, but I said approved. And then I just broke down crying, like bawling my eyes out. And I was just like, where is this coming from? But then I just realized that it was so hard to get here and that I was just shoving that feeling down. And it was finally just like coming to the surface. So this is such a milestone for me.
Oh, it makes me like emotional just hearing you talk about it. Like, seriously.
I chose to make the whole album positive. And because that pulled me out of that dark place, that allowed me to stay positive. So the whole album is just really positive through and through. And I'm actually working on some new music now that's more actually folk and lyrical to tell the story of what I went through. So there's going to be a lot of different music. It's going to be very eclectic in the future moving forward, just to make sense of it all.
I love eclectic. I love different
eclectic
and all the different things. So I'm all for like just trying new things and experimenting, and because it's like you have so many different loves of different styles of music, and it's like I hate it when people feel or make me feel or whatever that you have to stick to like your brand. It's like, why can't we all just like stretch a little bit, you know?
I love that you say that too, because I mean there's so many people that keep telling me that I have to like pick my brand and stick with the brand and like don't step out of that brand. And that's basically everyone's putting this box around me, and I'm like, but I do write country and I do write folk and I do write hip hop and all this, and I have all this to give. Like it wouldn't be genuine if I didn't share this with people. So, and you're the same way, and I love that about you. Like you just created your own thing that nobody else is doing, and you did it in the biggest way on the highest level, and you're like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I was showing my boyfriend all your videos. I was like, look at her dancing with a violin.
Well, I need to learn some of your moves because you've got some killer. Were you trained as a dancer, by the way? Or
yeah, I did tap and jazz and all that as a kid, but then I trained rigorously as a ballerina. So once you do ballet, you're pretty good at transitioning.
I have such a deep-rooted love and like just asphyxiation with ballet. I think ballet is the most beautiful thing. You know, I've done just like I dabbled in pointe just for a music video, and I just have so much respect for the art. My roommate's a professional ballerina, and so she worked with me and taught me just so I could get away with doing one music video. But anyways,
that's amazing. Wait, did I not see that one? I'm gonna go look for that one after this.
Oh,
that is so cool.
I'm
collaborating with a ballet dancer, a male ballet dancer from Toronto really soon.
So is it like a partner?
We're gonna do a duet. Yeah. Maybe we can actually, that song's in progress and actually would be amazing to get your violin on that. I should send it to you. I don't want to release it. It's actually a really incredible cover.
Oh, beautiful.
Of a song. I'll send it to you.
That's stuff my way. I mean, like right now is the perfect time to like collaborate, write, and you know, it's like we're all stuck at home, so.
I know. I'm literally like, I'm like working on the 4th album now.
Oh my gosh, so you're just like a prolific writer. Do you just like have things coming out of your mind all the time?
Yeah, basically constantly every day, all day. I mean, I write a song every day, pretty much, or at least the lyrics to a song or the melody. But it's just mainly because it's my passion.
Yeah, I love that.
And I just love doing it. So kind of just do it without thinking about it. I'm sure you're the same way. I mean, I can see how passionate.
Not really, actually. I really have to lock myself in a room, close the door, and then be like, it's time to write. You know, like I love so many things about like what I do. I love the creative process, but writing for me is not a prolific thing. It's something I like have to sit down and it's time to write. Let's turn, you know. So yeah,
I actually like that too, though. You can compartmentalize it.
Yeah, it's very compartmentalized for me.
We'll definitely have to get in the writing room when we can. And just like see what happens. I feel like we'd come up with so many songs really fast.
I feel like we would.
I have this feeling that we'd write like 10 songs in like 5 days.
Let's do it on the road. I'll bring my little.
Oh yeah, we could do it on the tour bus. We should do that.
Absolutely.
We'll just like write songs and then play them the next day.
Yeah, but by the way, we wrote this little ditty last night.
Yeah.
By the way, for anyone just joining, I know that people come in and out of these chats. I just want to say hello, welcome. I'm chatting here with my buddy Kiesza. And for those of you who aren't aware, Kiesza and we were supposed to be touring right now. This pandemic thing hit. So anyways, we're touring next year. The tour is still up and we're going to be touring next summer together. I cannot wait to get on the road together. And we just released the song together last night or yesterday. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel, on both of our Instagrams. And then finally, last update, Kiesza's album comes out tomorrow. So there you go. Anyone just joining, you got to check out her music. She is amazing. If you just want to like let loose and dance and feel, put on her album. That's how you'll feel. I am curious, what is the biggest, what is it that you want people to feel from this album?
I really wrote this album to just put people in a good mood, to really amp them up and just give them a boost of energy to make it through this time right now. To really even pull themselves out of their own head and out of their worries. I know that that's the biggest thing I think everyone's dealing with is like, we don't know what tomorrow will be. None of us do. We don't know when we'll be able to travel again. I mean, a lot of people don't know if their businesses are going to collapse or not. It's a scary time. It really is. And I've seen a lot of my friends go through some really challenging times. I'm thankful that I'm able to keep going with music through this, and that music's actually something that is lifting people up. So I feel really grateful to be in that position.
Yeah, since you've been in a spot before of not knowing what tomorrow will bring, you know, and for anyone that missed it, Kiesza told her story about when she got 2 or 3 years ago in a terrible car accident and had to go through immense amount of rehabilitation, and you know, you had a brain injury and you had to relearn a lot of things. So you honestly didn't know what tomorrow would bring for a while.
I feel like there's a song concept coming on right now.
There we go. I'm just gonna okay. But what is your best advice, like, for people right now that don't know what tomorrow is going to bring and that are worried and are unsure?
The best advice I have is don't beat yourself up on those days when you get down. Because inevitably they come and they come again. We're really knocked off balance when we're faced with confusion and the unknown, and we don't feel like we have our roots. We don't feel grounded, and so this instability makes us swing back and forth emotionally. And we go through the highs and the lows. We come up with new ideas, but then we're faced with reality of like life not being what we expect, or even losing income, or not having access to our family. I can't even see my nephew right now, and I'm missing out on him growing up in person, and that's so hard for me.
Yeah.
But when I was going through the car crash and the recovery, I was already in isolation, and I used to beat myself up like, come on, like, you got to heal, you got to get back. And I was mad at myself for being stuck and not healing. And then I realized that that's not helping at all. Yeah. And then I realized that if I have a bad day, I'm just going to acknowledge it's a bad day, and it's okay. I'm going to let myself have a bad day. I'm going to get through this bad day. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be as mad as I want. And then I'm going to just move on and come out of it. Let it pass, get it out of my system. And I actually noticed being creative really helped get things out of my system. I'd write a song that was as dark as I wanted it to be, and I just didn't. It's like, I don't have to put any of this out. I'll just get it out of my soul. Like, I don't want that energy inside. But never beat yourself up. It doesn't do anything. It just knocks you down internally, and it makes it harder to move forward. And just be just like loving and nurturing of yourself, and really take care of yourself. And you just really have to, like, this is the time. It's not selfish to be selfish. Really, like, look out. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of times we feel like taking time for ourselves is like a selfish thing, to like focus so much on me and what I need. And that's literally the least selfish thing you can do, because you cannot be there for someone else until you're whole yourself. Like you can try to be there for the people, but you could only really like be that person that's nurturing and fully loving and accepting once you're not like stuck in here.
It's so
And
true.
I just love the way you're describing it, because I really have kind of tried to learn that emotions are like a revolving door. I don't want to wear them anymore. I don't want to ever say I am sad or I am angry, because that is not I am. I am not that. It's going to come.
You're just going through sadness. You're going through anger.
Yes. And I don't want to own it. I don't ever want to own those negative emotions again. But yeah, they're allowed to pass through. They're going to pass through. And to not judge. I hear you saying just like, don't judge them, feel them, and then like let them
acknowledge that they're there. Another really helpful thing that's changed my life is I decided that since I didn't have access to the outside world and I was stuck on my own, that I was going to face myself. And I think that's one thing that a lot of us don't want to do, is dig up the junk that's inside of us, because it reveals a lot of things that we don't want to admit about ourselves. But I started doing this exercise that whenever somebody really frustrated me or made me feel really upset, before I went to them or got mad at them, I'd be like, what is that in me that is feeling this way, that's allowing me to go into this state of frustration or anger or stress? Because I mean, that's something that I don't have control within myself. So before I go and pin it on this person, what can I do to dissolve that within myself? And then after I'd work through that, I'd reapproach the same situation, and 90% of the time there was no issue. It was like just me, something going on internally. And then but that it was like untying a knot, and it was getting rid of all these internal knots. And I honestly still do that. I do that every day, and it's game changer, changed my life. I've grown so much as a result.
That's like really powerful and so emotionally mature. I don't like, that's a really, really thing, because if you think about it, I'm always trying to remind myself that most of life isn't personal. Like what people do and the kind of reaction you get from people is usually more about what they're going through than what they're reading from you. And so to reverse it and say that I'm doing the exact same thing, like my reactions are really not about other people, they're really about myself. Like it goes both ways. So that's really cool.
Why am I so angry? Like, why am I this angry? What is it in me that is allowing my system to get to this unhealthy state of stress and anger that is like taking away from my health, taking away from my mental happiness? What is it? And you
why
go
am I wrapped
and
up and stuck?
And it's amazing what you will, like, if you really just sort of still your mind, like you don't dig too much, you just kind of still your mind, and usually something comes up. You'll like remember something from the past, or a trauma, or something somebody said when you were a kid, and you'll be like, wow, okay, I forgive this person. Like I'm letting this go. And then it's amazing. Like you feel a weight lift off your shoulders, and honestly, your health gets stronger. Like it's amazing how everything, the mind, the body, and the soul are all connected.
Yeah. You know, it's just so cool to hear you talk about all this, because I'm guessing that a lot of these things you learned through like the last 3 years of rehabilitation. And, you know, it's just so crazy how the hardest burdens we bear are the ones that, you know, change us for the better and make us stronger. And like, I mean, you know, the things that I learned through fighting anorexia years ago have made me the person I am. You know, like one of the hardest things that I've ever had to like overcome, this mental consuming disease, made me so much more aware of everything inside of me and a happier person in general. And, you know, but you know, when you're going through it, it's always so hard to look forward and be like, this is going to make me a better, stronger, kinder, nicer, whole person, you know, but
that's powerful.
Just like, I don't know, the things that you shared today, I'm like, these are really cool things that I'm sure you learned through. Those are the things you only learn through hardship.
That was the silver lining of this, because it was so hard to go through. Yeah. That the only way to get through it was to grow, to become more mature. And what I did realize at the end is that whenever you're faced with an obstacle, if you do overcome it, you inevitably will always grow.
Yeah.
And so now I look at every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. It's like, okay, this is challenging, this is stressful, but there's an opportunity for growth. This is awesome. You know, like I'm gonna come out of this better and stronger.
Absolutely.
All right, bring it on, you know, like bring it on. Yeah.
I know, it's funny. I try to like actually take moments when I'm discouraged, when I'm frustrated. And to be honest, like, you know, I think this pandemic has given everybody this like up and down effect of some days I'm like, I'm doing good, I'm hanging on, I'm thriving, I'm doing my best. And then, you know, other days I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm hitting the bottom today. And so when I get those moments, I literally sometimes go back again, kind of remembering that I've done this before. I've been through hard things before. I've overcome and become better because of the hardest things I've been through. And just like you're saying, it reminds me that like, as much as like I'm being really down on myself right now and I'm not in a good place, like I can put that away and I can make this something that will make me better, even though it's hard. So
that's amazing.
I love that.
And also like finding ways of making the most menial, boring tasks exciting has been this new game I've been playing. Like I'll create a game out of like doing the dishes, or like, for example, if you're like mowing the lawn, instead of just mowing the lawn, like mow patterns into the lawn. And then by the time you're done, you're like, I don't want to mow the rest of the lawn because I made this pretty picture. And I like just, you know, when you're stuck at home and like you have these menial tasks, like how can I make every task fun? Yeah. Like the most boring, like what game can I create by myself right now to make this boring task fun? Because I can't leave my house right now or whatever. I remember I was in quarantine for 3 months alone.
I remember seeing that. Like I decided to lock down with some family and I felt so blessed because of that. But I remember seeing that I had several friends, one of which was you. And I was like, she's writing tons of music. You were dancing. Because you were all by yourself and you were making the freaking
but then
best
I
of it.
totally crashed too. I was like, I'm on the top of the world. And then I was just like, I am depressed. And then I'm back on top of the world.
And back on top,
Yeah, and now my life sucks. Like,
right.
Well,
and I think hearing people say stuff like that, I think reminds every single person who's watching that what they're feeling is normal. Because, you know, it's like sometimes when we go through these things, we feel so not only physically alone, we feel like emotionally and mentally like nobody's ever gone through this before. And I don't know why we feel that way, because it's like it's so apparent that everybody's felt depressed. Everybody has gone through like these ups and downs in life, and especially right now, these pretty severe and very quick patterns.
And that's the thing, is they're more frequent.
Yeah. And to hear, like, even for me to hear you say that you've been through this, it's like, oh, wow, I'm not alone in this, you know, and to like talk to my roommate about it. But, you know, for anyone watching, it just makes us all realize that like we're all in this together, and what we're feeling, even though it's hard, there's a reason, and it's normal, and there's comfort in that, you know. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love your game idea. It makes me so happy.
It's such a good game. And honestly, it's like you can literally make a game out of anything.
Right. Or like dancing while you're sweeping, or just, you know, and it reminds me something I've been focusing a lot on in the last few months is like realizing for myself that I've lost a little bit of my ability to play. And that's a
the
core
violin.
part. Oh no, sorry, just
I was like, what? That makes zero sense to me.
No, I still can play the violin, but I mean like child play, being playful and like kind of, you know, just being childlike. And I think it's a core part of I think most of our personalities, and yet we sometimes bury it and forget about it and realize that that play can be put into anything. Children make games out of cardboard boxes and have the best time ever.
True.
And, you know, and so it's like, just exercising the ability to find the play in everything in life is one of, I think, the best skills you could ever have. And it changes the currency of life from like trying to find success and money into trying to find happiness. And like,
it's literally like, it's a not fun life versus a fun life.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think
that's so cool. I feel like we're gonna have so much tour. Oh wait, did you?
Yes, we're gonna play and we're gonna write, and you know, and I literally cannot. I think we're all gonna appreciate just the little things in life, like touring. That's a big thing, but you know, it becomes so much a part of our life. And I think that now it's gonna just feel so incredibly like special, and I just like can't wait.
I know, and just connecting with fans, like we're so used to just going out and playing shows and connecting in person, and now that's been taken away right now. You know, we're not even we can't do that if we want to right now. And I know I'm talking to tons of my fans, and I'm like, I know I like really want to tour right now. I'm so sorry. Like soon. I don't know when. Again, unknown. Like I'm praying that our tour, nothing happens to it again. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like it will. I have faith. I feel like. Yeah, I feel like by next year it's gonna be a different world, but
I think so. But
you're awesome.
You are awesome, and like thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Again, everybody, Kiesza's album comes out tomorrow, so
thank you. It's called Crave.
Crave. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Crave comes out tomorrow. Anything else you want to say about that before we end?
No, the album's dropping. I'm like, it's this huge milestone for me coming back. It's my second album. I was supposed to be on my second album 3 years ago, but due to a car crash, it never happened. And like, so this is a big, big moment for me coming back. And it's honestly like, I'm just so grateful, and I feel so blessed to be here and be connected with people like you, Lindsey. You're amazing, and thank you for sharing the word and for having me on your live stream. And honestly, getting like, I didn't even know about your story with anorexia. Like now I want to know more about that, because again, it is our obstacles and our challenges and the ruts that we fall in and get out of that make us grow as people, but also give us access to helping other people. So yeah.
So true.
Yeah, so I mean, I just got that text thing too today, that community text thing where I like texting, and it's amazing how many people are like reaching out, like, hey, I have a brain injury, hey, I went through this, and like, and now I'm able to just like literally talk directly with people and like help them through these times. It's amazing the technology we have. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So
I'm gonna send you the song that I was talking about.
Yes, please do.
And we'll see you. I hope to meet you in person soon again. I know we met a while ago, but we meet in person.
We'll get to hang out soon. If not, we'll do it on tour. And love you so much. And also thank you everybody for joining us today. It's been a fun chat for all.
It's been amazing. Yeah, it's funny because my thing froze. Like I was just having faith that people were still here. Mine literally says there's one viewer, and like the messages stopped scrolling. But I'm pretty sure people are still here.
We currently have 520 people at this moment, so there's more than one. But even if it was just one of you, it would be worth it.
Totally. And I was like, I think this is a glitch, but I'm just gonna like go with it.
That's so funny. Oh
yeah, my gosh, totally worth it though. I mean.
Absolutely.
You guys are the best. Thank you all for being here and for tuning in and for listening. And thank you for like people are so positive about this new song, what you're made of. Like I am getting so many messages. Honestly, they're just like, I love that you're working with Lindsey and the song's amazing. And like honestly, thank you for the feedback on the new track. So
yes, thank you everybody for supporting it. So many of you guys posted it and shared it and like said you loved it. I don't think you understand how much that means to us as musicians and artists. Like your guys' comments and you guys reposting and sharing our stuff and saying you love it, like
means
literally
means
the world to us. So like thank you so
much.
And
my fans are like, I did not expect a surprise song 2 days before your album drops. I
know.
Psych.
Again, I was really when I heard your album was dropping so close, I was like, oh, there's no way that she'll do like another song. So anyways, just again, thank you for doing it.
You're welcome. I'm like, you know what? Everybody needs music right now. That's such an uplifting song too. So
they
need it. They need it.
That's what we're all about. All right. Well, keep being awesome, keep being uplifting, keep being amazing. And I personally, I hope fans join me. I will be posting a dance video to one of Kiesza's new songs off her new album, Crave. So join me in that. And until next time, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, Lindsey. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you
Kiesza.
soon. Bye. Bye, everybody.